Mid-month boo bash. Woo! I don't have anything spooky. I have started watching Midnight Mass though. I'm really excited. I'm 2 episodes in and I watched Malignant yesterday and I absolutely loved it. That movie was so bonkers. I'm actually listening to a podcast and I'm kind of annoyed because they're talking trash about the acting and like, well, the script isn't very good and like da-da-da-da, but it's like they're being bad on purpose. Like, I feel like it's so clearly overacted, but whatever. We all have our own opinions and that's fine. I just read, I also haven't like read anything this week. So I'm really hoping this week and I commit. So I read the next thing from this, A Public Space, number 29, which is an essay by Claire Massoud, Two Women. Let me just, here it is. And wow, I am emotional. That was so good. I've never read anything by her before, but I don't think so. I don't know. I need to look at my shelves. Her name is really, really familiar, but I don't think that I've read anything by her. My brain is really bad. I'll look it up after I'm done with this. But it was so incredible. It was basically like an ode to her mother and her aunt. These two women in her life and her father's life and like how different they are. And just, yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I am unsure of what I'm going to do next. Because I definitely need to read more, but I don't like to read a lot of short things in a row because then like I forget them. So, I'm debating between doing dishes and reading more of 2666. So I'm probably going to do dishes just because I want to like be prepped for when I have to start cooking dinner. So I'll do that first and then maybe I'll read for 30 minutes and then I'll start cooking. We'll see. Oh, wait, I need to exercise too. I don't want to do anything except read. Hey guys, so I may have burnt myself aggressively tonight. So this is, I just had to have my hands been in water for, I'm going to say like 2 hours and it still hurts if I take it out. So, you know, I was cooking fish in a pan. So it was on the burner and then I put it in the oven under the broiler to like crisp it up. And then I took that out of the oven and then I forgot that it was in the oven and then I went to pick up the pan. So that's what's happened and I'm really disappointed. So I just feel like when this kind of stuff happens, it just like ruins the whole weekend. I think tomorrow, like, I'll be functional, like I'll be able to hold a book and stuff and not be uncomfortable, but just like really puts a damper on everything. Right, baby? Does it put a damper on everything? Not for baby. Baby's always happy. But yeah, so Jake and I just watched Friday the 13th part 4, the final chapter, and I had seen this movie before. I think this is like the only Friday the 13th movie I'd seen before. And Crispin Glover is in it. And the second I see him, all I can think of is Charlie's Angels. So we're going to watch Charlie's Angels before bed. I did read a couple pages of 2666. Not enough to like comment on, I don't think. I'm hoping to read a little bit more before bed, but I just like really can't do anything other than lay here with my hand in this bowl of water. Hey guys, it is Saturday morning. I didn't end up reading anymore. I honestly, obviously did not have a very good night last night. And I think I mentioned it, but I had more wine after that because I was like, I was sad that I hurt myself. So yeah, it looks so good. I'm really, really impressed. There's clearly a large blister forming at my thumb. And all of the pads of my fingers are really sensitive and like feel like really taut and I can't straighten my hand. But I think in general, it looks really good and I'm really happy. But yeah, I was just sad last night because I keep hurting myself. Like 2 weeks ago, I cut my hand and then Jake, like I couldn't do dishes. I couldn't do anything. And it just like, like, does it have to happen at the beginning of my weekend, like incapacitate me basically? Because I have a lot of stuff that I have to do, but I'm gonna take it easy, obviously, because I don't want to deal with this, or like I don't want to, you know, make it worse. I'll show you guys later if anything changes, but I don't see like any blister forming at the moment except for this one. But it still doesn't feel good, but you know, whatever. So anyways, I'm going to see, I don't even know, can I hold that? Yeah, and I totally forgot when I woke up this morning, and so like I reached with my left hand to grab something and then it hurt. Wham. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this bad boy right now. That's how books like to be referred to, right? As bad boys. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. I'm waiting for Jake to bring me home a donut. Okay, so Jake just brought me these donuts. Y'all. Okay, so I tried this one, which is first of all, these are vegan donuts also, which is incredible. This one is a butter beer flavored one. I forget what he said this one is flavored, but this is a Portland fog and then a pumpkin spice thing. So very, very good. I'm going to take little bites out of all of them. I did just eat lunch, so I'm not super hungry. And then he also got me a brown sugar shaken espresso from Starbucks because, you know, I can't help myself.
De rencores y violencia, solo el amor con su ciencia nos vuelve tan inocentes, se va enredando, enredando.
Okay, so I just finished part 3 of 2666. And what was that part called? The part about fate. I assume it's fate and not Fathic because he's an American. But anyways, this is translated by Natasha Wimmer. Yeah, so good. I'm like so stressed out right now. So in part 3, we're following an American journalist who is from Harlem, and he went basically like the sports writer of his like newspaper was killed or died or whatever, and so he was asked to go cover a boxing fight in Santa Teresa, Mexico, which is like kind of like where all of this is like centered and converges. And yeah, it's so good. Like it got more and more intense. Like at first it's just like some reporter like talking blah blah blah, and then like let me just say, so intense. I'm so nervous. I'm so like scared because I mean the book doesn't just revolve around Santa Teresa, but around like the killing of these women and like how people, like, you know, all of these women are being murdered and like no one's like they're just constantly being murdered, like they're disappeared and their bodies just show up, which is like really sad because it's not an untrue occurrence, but it's like also really stressful because you get really invested in the characters that you're reading from. And so I'm like really worried for their safety, like really, really worried for their safety, specifically, obviously right now, the journalist and, you know, this young woman. So boy, I'm just like, I'm going to stop reading it for now. I'm going to read, sorry, I don't know if you guys like to match your music to your reading, but I put on like a Chilean folk station, even though the book takes place in Mexico, so probably should be listening to Mexican music, but that's okay. So I'm going to read the next piece in A Public Space, which is Dublin We Were by David Hayden. And then I will catch back up with you guys. Jake is probably going to come home with food, not super soon, but like soon-ish. So obviously when he comes home, we'll watch a movie. I think tonight is our first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, which I'm really excited for. I don't think that he's seen it. It's got an upsetting plot. I mean, like, you know how or I guess like an upsetting reveal about Freddy's motives is that part's really triggering and upsetting, but it'll be fine. So yeah, I'm excited for Jake to see this. I love watching things with him that like he hasn't experienced but only I've experienced. I love watching like his reaction to things and stuff. I don't know. Is that weird? I don't think that's weird. I think it's fun. It's so much fun. Okay, so I just read this Dublin We Were by David Hayden, and not for me. Yeah, I have no idea what he was trying to say with that. I did not understand it. It just felt like a bunch of it's like each sentence was just like saying what a different person was doing, kind of. I don't know. It was weird. I'm not into it. His writing was fine though, so I would not be opposed to trying something of his that is not such a short piece, but not anything I would like a run out for. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do some housework first right now, and then maybe I'll read a little bit more. I feel pretty good. I feel like I've read, you know, not like a ton, but at least something. Which is more than I can say for the last months. So, or at least month. Months. Ooh, I don't even want to think about it. It's cool. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. This cat is so desperate. She just won't leave me alone. She's so cute, but I'm trying to do things. Baby. Well, now there's a train. Oh, dang. I scared him. Oh my gosh. It's Crowville. My coffee, my biscuits, my man. Baby! Baby! Baby!
Are you trying to the squirrels?
Yeah, that's it. Hey guys, it is Sunday morning. It's about 9 o'clock. And I have just read. Wow, gosh, I am not good at things. Okay. So I just read the next short thing in a public space, which was, oh my gosh, sorry, it's because I've got this thing over here. Cats Are Hunters After All by, what is that name? Kat Thackeray, and that was so good and spooky. Hold on, I can't hold my phone anymore because it is hurting. Okay, this is much better. That was bonkers. It was so atmospheric and so spooky. We're following a man who has just like bought a property and then has built a house, and this is like a place where there's a superstition where you have to put a cat like in the walls of the house as to be like a protector. So basically, obviously, the cat, you know, dies because it's entombed. But then spooky things start to happen. It's just like really good. Oh gosh, it was so good. Obviously, that's like, you know, gonna probably be upsetting to some people, but it's fiction. It's not an essay. And yeah, it was just really good. I 100% am into this person. I want I want to read from her more. And I did start The Tunnel last night by Ernesto Sabato. I'm gonna have to look up where the accent goes. And this one is translated by Margaret Sayers Pedden. And I just want to say that I'm actually kind of irritated with Penguin because this has an introduction by Colm Toibin. And at the front, it has like a little bio of Ernesto and Colm, but not of the translator. So I don't understand why a person who wrote 2 pages about this book gets a bio, but the person who translated the whole thing doesn't get a bio. Does that make any sense to any of you? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, so I'm actually going to try to sit and read this. It's so good. We're following a man who has like killed a woman, and he's just like gonna tell his account of like why he killed her, and it's just so good. He is my kind of character. I love it. I love it so much. I'm so glad that I'm reading this finally. It's nap time in Babyville. Shirley. Hi, baby. How are you so beautiful? God, you are so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you are so pretty. Oh boy. Guys, I'm still reading The Tunnel, and I just like love it so much. I mean, trigger warning if you have experienced, I guess, domestic violence, because he is a lunatic, but it's really funny because he's basically obsessed with this woman and, thinks that they're supposed to be together, but he is very abusive, like emotionally towards her, and he also like grabs her and stuff. He's clearly not well, but it's really funny because he's just like gone to the to like the countryside or whatever, and he's met like her cousin or her cousin-in-law, and then he said, suddenly remembering where I was, I turned quickly and glared at Hunter to dominate him. This is a method that yields excellent results with individuals of his sort. There's just so many funny lines in this book. Like, he is just disgusted by humanity, and it's really funny because he is like the most disgusting type of human. So it just makes me laugh again. These dumb men. But again, and I'll probably mention this multiple times, trigger warning for like domestic violence and stuff. Okay. Just really fast because this is another example of this guy. These two are frivolous, totally superficial idiots. Maria could only feel lonely in their presence. I cannot have a rival in people like this. It's just so funny to me. I don't know how to explain it. It's so funny. I love it. All right, I just finished The Tunnel. This is the first book that I've finished in so long. I only read 1 poetry magazine in the month of September, so last thing I finished was in August, and it's almost the middle of October. This was so good. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I'm really tempted to just buy more of his books right now, but I'm on a budget, guys. And I'm actually trying, and I'm doing pretty good at budgeting, so I am just not buying nearly as many books as I used to. Unless I need to for like Invisible Cities or something. But anyways, yeah, this was so good. I can't wait to talk more about it in my review. Or like, when I do my next wrap up, if I ever do another wrap up. So I'm going to read another story from A Public Space. Let's see. The next one is, oh gosh, that's the one I just read. Wow. You guys are getting this view a lot, eh? I'm so bad. It's actually an interview. It's the syntax of space interview with Robert Kirkbride, and I have no idea who that is, so I don't know why I went to put that back down. So yeah, I'm gonna read that, And then some other stuff. Maybe I'll read a little bit of Cantoras. All right, so I've just finished this interview and it was super interesting. So this man, Robert Kirkbride, is the great grands. I don't know. He's related to this man, Thomas Story Kirkbride, who basically were the architects of asylums for the mentally ill, like back in the day. And it is so interesting. And so they show, you know, the way that they were kind of built, with like the main portion forward and then like the different wings kind of going back, and like the reasoning for that, and how his ancestor, I don't know if ancestor is an aggressive word, but how he was a Quaker, and how you know, he thought that there should only be 250 people max in these spaces, and how like the employees and the people that were there, like you couldn't really tell the difference between them except for the keys that were hanging from the belts of the employees, and then just kind of like how things have got worse, and how people just kind of, you know, got rid of people there. And so there's all of these, I don't know, like I don't know what's wrong with me, but looking at these pictures is like super comforting. Which I know is horrible. But I don't know what, something about like the grandiosity, something about them is quite lovely. And so he is trying to preserve these buildings because politicians and such are trying to like demolish them to use this space. And he's talking about how these spaces could just be remade for people to like have, you know, I can't remember already, which is sad because I just read it, but, you know, like artist space and like, you know, cooking classes, and like there could be different uses for this space. But what these politicians have are a lack of imagination. And so he's talking about how each one is built in a different place, and, you know, the bricks and like the wood that's made out of them, it's all like very specific to the actual place where they were made, because a bunch of them were made in different places. And I just thought that was super fascinating, and how like we're kind of like whitewashing our history. I'm sorry, I can't like turn the camera around. We can't, you know, people are just trying to demolish it instead of trying to rebuild it. And these are like such valuable like pieces of our history, but because of the shamefulness of the mental asylum and like how, sorry, my cat is going to the bathroom. Anyways, because of the shamefulness of the mental asylum and how we have a tendency in this country to erase our past that we're like embarrassed of or think is shameful or whatever, instead of like not embracing it, but acknowledging it and then trying to do something with the, you know, the things that are left over from that time period. Yeah. And anyways, that was super interesting. And I don't know. I mean, he's not like an author, he's an architect, so there's nothing really more I can say about it, but very interesting conversation. And I am glad that I read that. So thank you, A Public Space. My cutie baby. Hey guys, it's Friday the 15th. I don't think that I read or vlogged anything at all on Monday. I feel like there's a few clips of my cats throughout the week, but it's just been a week. So I'm just trying to say goodbye for this vlog because I didn't really like end it. Because again, it was a rough week. And yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll read this weekend. I definitely didn't read anything this week. So, but I finished one thing for Mid-Month Boo Bash. which I'm really pleased with, and I really, really enjoyed it. So hopefully, you know, the reading will continue. Hope everyone had fun. It's spoopy season. Mwahaha.